Hello everyone, I'm back with another exciting game from round 4 of the 2018 Chess Olympiad. This game was played on table number 5, board number 1, between Shakhriyar Mamedyarov and Michael Adams. So in this game, Mamedyarov had white and Adams had the black pieces. Let's see how it goes. We have d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, so this transposes into the queen's gambit decline. Knight to c3, c5, c takes d5, and now we have a semi-Tarrasch on the board. Knight takes d5, e4, knight takes c3, b takes c3, c takes d4, c takes d4, bishop e4 check, bishop to d2, bishop takes, queen takes, here black castles, and bishop to c4 from Mamedyarov. In the Tarrasch, white has these nice pawns in the center. And one of the ideas for white is to eventually go d5, creating a passed pawn. Black, on the other hand, tries to target these pawns, and he would like to prove that there are liabilities for white instead of a strength. Here, knight to d7, white castles, b6, so preparing to target this pawn with bishop to b7, rook a to d1, bishop b7, rook f to e1, rook to c8, bishop b3, so white has placed his rooks nicely in the center where the action is going to happen. Here h6, this creates a flight square for the king. White does the same, and here rook to e8 from black. So this looks like a strange move, putting your rook on the close e file. But here black is getting ready for d5, and then after this pawn is exchanged, then this rook would become active. Rook to e3, white would like to go d5 at some point. And with the rook on e3, if the rooks are traded, then the queen comes to a more active square, instead of going backwards. White also has the option of rook d3, tripling on the d file, or swinging the rook over to the king side, depending on the situation. Queen to f6 from Adams, with the idea of queen to f4, putting more pressure on e4. We have queen to e2, queen f4, and here if white sits around and wait, for example if a4, then black can play knight f6, putting more pressure here. And if white plays e5, then black can blockade this square with a minor piece. Therefore, Mamedyarov plays g3, kicking the queen back. Queen comes to c7, and now Mamedyarov decides that it's time to break with d5. We have e takes d5, e takes d5, rook takes e3, queen takes e3, and here queen to c5 from Adams, offering a trade of queens. Mamedyarov declines it, queen to f4, so now d6 comes with a double attack on f7. Here the safe move for black is knight to f6. So if d6 opening up this bishop, and also with threats of jumping the knight to e5, then here black eliminates the knight, queen takes f3, and rook to d8. And this should be fine for black because he has enough pressure on this pawn. But here we have queen to c3 from Adams, so preparing to meet d6 with queen takes f3. We have a knight to d4 from Mamedyarov, so this knight could come into b5 and then to d6. Rook to e8 from Adams, with the idea of trading off the rooks. d6 from Mamedyarov, so this pawn is getting dangerously close to the queening square. And now f7 is under fire. Here if black tries to play rook to e1, with the idea that if rook takes, queen takes, king h2, and then you give mate on h1, but this simply doesn't work because white doesn't have to take the rook, he can just go king to h2. And if black takes, then now you give check on f7, and then black is going to get mated. So here, after d6, Knight to f6 from Adams. King to h2, getting out of any rook to e1 tricks. Here queen to b2 from Adams, putting pressure on f2. And here white can go d7, giving him an advantage. This pawn cannot be taken because then f7 will fall. But Mamedyarov plays knight to c2, we have queen to c3, they repeat moves. And now d7 from Mamedyarov. Rook to d8, knight to f5, so the knight is getting ready to jump to d6, with an attack on this bishop and also the pawn on f7. So Adams plays bishop to e4, trying to reroute this bishop to g6, which would defend this pawn. Knight d6, bishop g6, knight to c4 with a tempo on the queen, queen to e2, and then knight to e5 from Mamedyarov. This bishop is now on pre, so king to h7, stepping out of this diagonal. g4 from Mamedyarov, stopping knight to h5. And black is almost in zugzwang in this position. This bishop doesn't have anywhere to go. This rook can't move. And if this knight moves, then knight to c6 comes for white. b5 from Adams. Queen to e3 from Mamedyarov, offering the trade of queens. And if this is taken, then again, black is almost in zugzwang. a5, here you simply play something like a4. And then black doesn't have any good moves now. So queen to b2 from Adams. King to g1. This defends the pawn on f2, freeing up the queen to come to e7. b4 from black. Here knight takes g6 from Mamedyarov, and it was in this position that Michael Adams resigned the game. Because after f takes g6, queen to e7 wins material for white. Black has to give up the rook, and white is simply up a piece. Azerbaijan managed to overcome England with a score of 3.5 to half. And on the other tables, Poland managed to upset Russia with a same score. And after 4 rounds, there are currently 2 teams on 14 total points. There are France and Israel. So that is all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe for more updates on the Chess Olympiad. Thank you for watching and have a great day.